Ayo.
Hey, welcome back.
Hey, you're back. Hey, it's okay. Hey, it's a brand new day. Hey, whoa. Hey, whoa.
I think you have been discovering that you like to make songs.
I've been discovering my musical side as of late. Yeah. It's funny because we watched the most recent episode of RuPaul's Drag Race All-Stars before we recorded this.
An hour ago? Yeah, not even?
Yeah. And the challenge this week specifically was to make a new drag race anthem, or a drag anthem, I should say. And the challenge was to be inspiring, but also upbeat. And I was like, I think I could do that.
Right.
I think I could do that. Like, I don't usually look at the challenges and think like, usually I look at the challenges and I'm like, I can't wait to watch the pros do this.
Right.
But this challenge, I was like, you know what?
I can do that.
I'd like to try my hand at this.
I'm a pro.
In like a non-competition environment.
Well,
just like try it out.
If I could give you some credit, like, you've gone from like, I'm making a song and it doesn't rhyme and this lyric is a little too long, but to like songs, like you wrote a song,
bars, having fitting within bars of music.
Exactly. Yeah. You've come a long way from just like doing this and saying whatever you want.
Well, I actually wanted to be a musician first before acting.
Yeah.
I wanted to be a rock
You were
star.
die hard. You were like, I'm gonna be a fucking musician. What kind of music would you have sang?
I wanted to be a pop star. When I was a kid, I loved...
That is so the opposite of you.
I loved, like, the Hilary Duffs and the Avril Lavignes and, whatever Disney starlet was trying to make an album
Ariana
at that
Grande's,
time.
your fucking Selena Gomez's.
In a way, like, I would like Ariana Grande's career. She's dope. Like,
she is dope.
She's extremely talented.
And very rich.
Can cut her own vocals. Mm-hmm. Like, and, like, does, like, choreography. But she doesn't do, like, intense choreography. She'll do, like, a little, like arm thing here and there. But, like, it's about... Her performances are about the singing.
Well, yeah, because she has to preserve her vocals, which is why she doesn't do...
well, she's like
choreography.
She's like Gen Z's Mariah Carey. And Mariah Carey would not appreciate me saying that, and I would like to formally apologize to Mariah Carey for ever having these thoughts. Fuck, I just told us not to hit the mics, and I just hit the microphone.
Yeah.
Curse these nails of mine.
You gotta stop talking with your hands. Just gotta keep them glued to your side.
I'm black. I can't do that.
Right, yeah, and I'm Italian, so.
And we're fucked.
Our kid is just gonna be like, hey, Mom!
Our kid's gonna come out of the womb like fucking voguing. But,
cut up the uterus. Cut up the uterus.
Yeah. But yeah, no, like, what was I saying? Music.
You want to be a pop star.
Music, apologizing to Mariah Carey. Yeah, no, like, Ariana Grande is very much like, like she can hit the whistle tone.
That's her
very
big
high
thing. Yeah.
And she's got like runs for days, like vocal runs for days. That's her whole thing. And like in my mind, I am very that. But then when I try and sing, it's either rapping or like folksy, like
because
music.
you don't have any vocal training in that way. Like,
no.
You don't know your vocal. I mean, I'm not saying that I do, but you don't know your vocal register.
I don't,
which is fine.
And like I can keep up with like like I can. I'm very versatile. Vocally, I'm verse.
Yeah.
I can go on the bottom, or I can kind of sort of go on the top for a little bit. I would like to think that I could be somebody's backup singer.
Sure.
At the very least.
I think that if you trained singing and you did some, coaching or lessons or something, you could be a wonderful singer.
Yeah. I would approach a singing and dancing challenge, with a can-do attitude.
Yeah.
It's like, listen, I am no Mariah Carey, but I could probably be like a Bob Dylan.
Yeah, just like a Bob Dylan.
People would appreciate my message more than my voice.
When you come out and you don't even really have to sing well.
Yeah.
Like,
because like I don't even want to name backup singers like Darlene Love, because they're powerhouses in themselves. They just have to sing backup for people because that's what their job requires of them. But like the backup singer on "Gimme Shelter" by the Rolling Stones can sing.
Right.
Like, rape, murder. Yeah. It's just a shadow away. Like, it's crazy.
Just a shadow away.
Yeah. And I watched that, we're veering way off course here, but I watched that documentary called 20 Feet from Stardom, which is about backup singers and their lives and their careers and stuff like that. And she sang that part live, like in the documentary. And I was like, fuck, dude.
Oh, she's quite the singer.
Holy shit.
Oh,
bro.
yeah.
So yeah, I don't, maybe I can't be a backup singer. But I could be like a folksy, like Bad on Purpose kind of singer.
Sam, the only reason you think that is because you haven't done any kind of vocal coaching. Like, anyone can be a singer. Even you at home can be a singer.
It's true.
The notion that you need the right pipes to do it is bullshit.
Yeah.
You could be a singer. You might not be the lead singer.
No.
You might not be the fucking alto.
But hey, there's value in not being the lead singer.
I'm probably a baritone.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah.
So I would just be like, it's just a shot away.
It's just a shot away.
Rape, murder, just like that.
And there's value in that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, what do you think? What do you think a chorus is, right? You need all levels.
Exactly. The sopranos and like the deep baritones get all the love because it's like on opposite ends of the spectrum.
Right.
But there's something valuable about being able to be in the middle.
I could never picture you as a pop star, though. Like, no offense.
Wow, fuck you, dude.
Well, I mean, but because you're just like so the opposite of that. You don't want to be uber famous. And like you would hate getting chased by paparazzi.
It's
and,
true.
Like,
I would
pestered
be
by fans.
I would be Alec Baldwin levels of violent towards the paparazzi.
Yeah. You'd be like, I want to be a pop star. I want to inspire people, but don't touch me. Nobody look at me.
Talk to me, okay?
Yeah.
Leave me alone.
But you know what pop stars do?
What do they do?
They always try to get a hit for the summer.
Yeah. They want that summer anthem.
Because everyone wants a good summer anthem for their summer.
Yeah.
And that's what we're talking about today. Summer vacation.
You know, at first I really hated it when you would do that, but now it's like a thing, and I'm into it.
I think that was my best one yet, to be perfectly honest with you.
Yeah.
You go back and listen to them, and you're like, all right, Cameron.
They're only getting better with time.
One of these days, I'm just going to smooth transition. You won't even notice. We'll be like 30 minutes into the podcast. You'll be like, when did we start talking about the topic? You're like, oh, baby, we've been always talking about the topic. Very evil and maniacal.
Yeah.
But we're talking about summer.
Yeah.
Everyone's apparently favorite season.
No, it's not. I know so many people who hate the summertime. I'm the only one who enjoys summertime.
See, I have been very vocal about how my favorite season is the fall. Winter is a close second, and I would say summer is third. And spring's not a season anymore. Climate change took spring from us.
Eliminated spring.
We don't have spring anymore. We have rain.
Nothing grows. Nothing gets birthed in this world that we live in anymore.
We have 3 seasons now.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jeffrey. But
go back to space. I liked it better when you were in space.
No kidding. But the thing with summer, talk about the topic of people liking summer, actually, before we really get into what we've written down, is I saw a tweet the other day that really put this into perspective for me.
Okay.
Most people ignore the drawbacks of summer completely in favor of what they like about summer, simply because it's a nostalgic holdover from when you were a kid where summer was the best.
Yeah.
Because even when I was a kid, summer was the best because you're not in school.
You were free. Yeah. It was the most free time you had in your life.
But as an adult, where free time is a myth, now it's just hot. It's muggy out.
Yeah. It's do what I did in winter, but hot outside.
Yeah, exactly. I can bust out my shorts. But now, you know what? I do have a summer wardrobe now, probably the first time in my life, and I feel good about it.
It helps.
Yeah, it does. Well, because look good, feel good that's such a real thing.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think we touched on that in our fashion episode.
We did.
But it's not necessarily about like making an outfit that is widely appealing. It's about wearing something that makes you feel good, and then the confidence that you give off in what you're wearing,
which is hard,
fashionable
for me in the summer.
Yeah,
because I mean, not so much anymore, but like as a big guy, like
as a big fella,
there's not a lot of fashion gear, summer fashion geared towards me. Fall fashion, I'll cut the runway up.
Yeah,
I'll be like mother.
You discovered that you can do a good vivacious impression
from Drag
today,
Race, the drag queen who was on Drag Race, and now I just do it on Drag Race.
Drag Race.
I want to be on Drag Race.
Baby Drag Race.
RuPaul Drag Race.
I would love Baby Drag Race.
Baby Drag Race? Oh, God, I don't want to see that. But Sam, summer. We're talking about summer, not talking about Drag Race.
Yeah.
What was your summer family traditions? Did you have any family traditions in the summer?
Yeah, our biggest family tradition was probably my aunt singular, my aunt and uncle, who are really just my mom's best friends, have a farmhouse just outside of Goderich.
Right.
And every year they would have a giant pig roast.
Hot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Towards the end of every summer, and like kind of like Labor Day weekend. My Uncle John and his friends would buy a pig, Or sorry, I think he was friends with somebody who like slaughtered pigs or something like that.
Well, if you own a farm, you probably know a butcher who slaughters pigs.
Yeah, and they would get the pig and make a whole big, spiel about it.
It's time to fuck this pig.
And rented like a giant roaster, and we'd have a big old pig roast. Everybody would bring something, like a salad, a pasta salad, a potato salad, some side dish of some kind. We would just have like a huge feast.
Right.
They don't do it anymore because it started getting too big for their britches.
Well, because from what I understand, what you and your mom had told me, it sounds like they had to almost organize.
Yeah.
Like they'd have to get like health code people in.
Yeah.
Because it was becoming so large.
Exactly. It wasn't just like a big gathering. It was getting so large that it's like, do we need to get permits for this? Like, do we have to like it was on private property.
But this is slowly becoming a public event with just how many people are here.
Yeah. And it was just getting too much. So
at what
they don't
point
do them anymore.
does a 200-person party become a public event?
Exactly.
Right? Yeah.
Exactly. So, but back in the day when I was a kid, I remember like all of my friends that I had friends that I specifically only saw around pig roast time.
Right.
And it was like,
you have your pig roast friends?
Yeah, I got my pig roast friends.
That you only roast pigs with? Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. Exactly. And we would reunite and we would eat lots of good food and we would run around and play because the farmhouse property was so huge. And we could just kind of like be let loose. We would go to the beach. We would go to the general store and get ice cream, buy candy, rent movies from the like creepy general store, have bonfires, make s'mores and wiener dogs.
It's like everything you love about camping in one night.
Exactly.
Yeah, and
we would have to stay in a tent too because there's no room in the farmhouse because there was just so many people there. Only like the family would stay in the farmhouse, and everyone else would bring tents and camp out on the giant lot.
In one pork-fueled night.
Yeah.
You get the whole camping experience.
Yeah.
Was the pork good?
Oh, it was delicious.
Yeah?
I mean, it was fresh, right? Like,
True.
It was roasted that day.
Well, they bought a whole pig. I'm assuming...
It was organic.
Oh my God. No preservatives in this pig we killed today.
No.
Did they do like a porchetta style? Like a whole-ass pig roast? Like, just stick the pig in the roaster? And then...
it was like a whole... Listen, this is going to get graphic. When I was planning this episode, I was like, don't tell people about the pig. Don't tell people about the pig. But I'm going to get graphic about the pig. So if this is not your favorite thing, maybe like tune out for the next like 5 minutes. But they would have the pig and like put it on a huge table.
Yeah.
Like the dead pig.
Right.
And like make a huge public display of like putting the pig on the rod.
Right.
Like ramming it ass first. Like ramming it through the pig and putting it on the roaster.
That is,
and we would all take turns. We'd all take like every year. My friends and I were like, so we're not going to look at the pig, right? It's disgusting. It's gross. And then every year we were like up at the front of the table,
center,
going like, ew! Oh my god!
Stick it in its ass.
eyes are rolled back into its head. Oh my god! Ew.
Oh, stick it in further. Yeah. How like ritualistic is that? Like that to me is like almost tribal.
Yeah.
Where it's like, now we will eat the pig. Yeah. Come. It's like, and they pick it up and
Watch
it's like,
us prepare the pig.
Roast the pig and roast the pig. And like they walk towards the big smoker they put it in.
Also, if you tuned out because of pig violence, it is safe now.
Yeah.
But,
I mean, I'll be honest with you, this pig, like, hopefully was slaughtered humanely and like...
We ate all of it.
Guys.
Hundreds of people, like, the whole thing got eaten.
I don't know if you know this at home, but we raised pigs to eat them.
No, but it's, like... People don't like hearing about the graphic details about how the pig gets prepared, so I was just warning people.
And I get that. Not to go on a side tangent or anything, but I really do think is like so much of cooking is respect for food.
Yeah.
And a part of respect for food is knowing how to break down an animal.
Respect for the source that you get it from.
That's why and like you just said, you ate the whole thing.
Yeah.
So I don't think that's gross. Obviously, I'm respectful of people's boundaries. I'm not trying to shit on you if you don't want to hear about how a pig gets slaughtered.
Yeah. Like, some people are just queasy. It's for the queasy folks out there.
But I would encourage y'all to not shy away from meat and shit when it comes to prepping your food.
Different strokes for different folks. Yeah. But yeah, that was probably the highlight of my summer.
Nice. It's a good answer.
Was being a kid, just being able to like really like run around and that was like peak freedom for me too, right? Because it was like, it's in a rural town. My parents knew everybody that was around me, so like they knew that I was safe and they were comfortable just like letting me run out. So if it was like, hey guys, like we're going, like just me and like 3 of my friends are going down to the beach, they're like, okay, maybe bring like one of the older kids with you so that somebody's watching you. I don't want you to drown.
Drown or get kidnapped, yeah.
But yeah, go, fine, whatever. It's like, you want to go to the general store? Yeah, sure, fine. Here's $5. Go get an ice cream. Okay.
It really is like a mini vacation.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was the most free that I ever was all summer, probably.
But maybe in your whole life, yeah. Life is a kid, and life is not a nightmare.
Yeah.
I'm just a kid, and life is not a nightmare.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. What's your favorite summer memory?
Well,
or summer tradition?
My summer traditions when I was younger was always going places. We had a cottage in Wasaga Beach. Just in the we rented a cottage in Wasaga Beach every year, from like when I was in like the 4th grade up until like honestly like the 9th grade. Like all of those years, the first week of summer, sometimes 2 weeks of summer, we go to this cottage with like 4 of our closest families, and we'd have like 25, 30 people over the course of the weekend, like stay at this cottage. And it was just the absolute best because you're always with your friends.
Yeah.
You know, it's good
like a
vibes.
week-long sleepover.
Basically, yeah. Eat good food. Everyone's playing games, drinking, and hanging out. That was a big summer tradition of mine. Before she passed away, another big summer tradition for my family was to go down to Cape Breton and hang out at my Aunt Teresa's house. Which is like such fond memories. I only did that like 3 or 4 times before, well, she eventually got sick, and then, you know, that was the end of it. But like,
it's also like a huge trek.
It is a massive trip, but we did that like many summers in a row. But yeah, I love, and cottage tripping and going to cottages is something that I've continued with my social circle, with my close friends. Because obviously we don't rent that cottage anymore. Although you've been there. We did rent the cottage, that exact cottage, a couple of years ago.
Pandemic.
And we wanted to kind of try to, well, the reason why my parents stopped was for a handful of reasons. A, it was hard to wrangle like 25 people and 4 families. And B, it's a big cottage. It was expensive, right? There's a reason why we brought that many people. Split the fucking bill, right? And with less people getting on board means more money up front from the individual families who can go.
Yeah.
So it couldn't become a yearly thing anymore.
Yeah.
But it's funny. There was also like, not to name any names, if anyone.
Drama.
There was drama. My mom.
Spill the tea, mother.
Mother, you see, the kids were fucking mother. There was a thing where, like, because there was a pointed reason as to why we stopped going when I was in the 9th grade, because my brother and his friends would have been, like, 13, 14 at the time.
Right.
And getting into adolescence, and, like, there was also, like, other families had girls the same age. So my parents are bringing up the fact that, like, these kids be
Bodies
fucking.
Are changing.
These kids be fucking.
Yeah.
And I don't want to.
No babies at the cottage.
I'm not trying to have this turn into a little fucking orgy party.
Yeah.
Which, like, granted, probably would have happened. So, like, I think they're probably okay in saying, like,
they kind of nipped it in, like, nothing happened, but they nipped it in the bud before anything had a chance.
Well, there was also some drama involving some people who, like, you know, one started dating this other person when the other person liked this person, and it's just like, not happening, right? Like, one kid got one of my friends who came up with me, again, not to name names, I'm not going to name names, got very uncomfortable because there was a couple friends of our cousins who came with us who, like, weren't dating, but, like, they were, like, hooking up in the bathroom. And when you're in, like, the 7th, 8th grade,
right,
you know, you're kind of like, what? You know, and he got a little freaked out, and, like,
oh, he, like, walked in on 2 people making out.
Well, he, like, really had to use the bathroom, but like, couldn't, because they were, like, in the bathroom for like an hour, just like hooking up or fucking.
Okay.
And then I just remember him feeling, like, very frazzled, because when you're young, you don't really know.
That's scary.
You're scared. It's scary. It's freaky. You don't know what's going on with these kids or these older kids and shit.
Yeah.
And my mom caught wind of that, and that was basically the beginning of the end, when she was like, "Well, no, I'm not renting this cottage so you could fuck in the bathroom."
Yeah.
Like, no, that is absolutely not what's going to happen.
Fair.
And we stopped. And I remember it was bullshit because for the longest time in my life, my mother never gave me an answer. It was always like, why can't we go to the cottage? It was like,
right.
Like, and I remember being really upset about it.
Yeah.
And, like, only until, like, honestly, the last, like, 3 years until they actually told me as to why.
Yeah.
I was, like, really upset about that for the longest time.
It's almost worse. Yeah. Yeah. That's a side tangent, but yeah, I that's not my favorite part about our generation of parenting that we received. A lot of it is just like, we're not telling you for your own good. And
which is nonsense.
Now I live in this, like, limbo, this weird middle space where I don't know what's going on, and I don't know why everybody's uncomfortable with each other, and it's not a good place to be.
It's the reason I have anxiety, Mom. No, obviously not. But, like,
no, I have anxiety because of my dad. No,
but yeah, man, I really loved that cottage, and it was really fun when we went up the other year. We wanted to. It was so much fun, in fact, that we actually kind of wanted to bring it back and make it a tradition again, or at least try to.
We're all adults now, you know. Like, you do the blackout period during the adolescence, let everybody get their hormones out somewhere else. And then
really.
Once everybody's a little bit more controlled, you can come back.
But we're not coming back with, like, 30 fucking people anymore. No. Now, the last time we went was with two families.
Yeah.
And I think that was probably the best way to do it.
Yeah. Well, also we're all adults now. Like we can't. It's not fun. You know. Like you can't put a bunch of people. Like before you could stick the kids on like a bunch of air mattresses in the basement, and then the parents have the bedroom bed, like the proper bedroom.
Yeah.
But now like everybody wants a bed. We all have lower back problems. Everybody needs a bed to sleep on.
I'm too stiff. I'm not sleeping on the couch.
Yes, yeah.
The couch is the exact same couch. It's been here for 20 years.
I can't have it anymore.
The springs in this couch suck. They sucked in 98. They suck in 2021. But no, cottaging and cottage tripping, I think, is my favorite summer activity in terms of like. We'll get into that later, of course. But like in summer traditions, that's continued with my close friends. We have 2 cottages now that we frequent, and then like you've obviously been to as well. One of which I'm going to tomorrow, as if we're recording this. So very much looking forward to that. But yeah, I would say that's probably summer traditions.
That's cute.
Cottaging.
Yeah.
Going cottaging.
Yeah.
Because I would love to own a cottage one day. Wouldn't that be great?
That would be great.
Summer home, cottage home.
Nice little summer home.
I mean, like the only thing with the cottage, and having frequented so many, it is really a lot of work. It's quite literally a property
It's
you
another
own
house.
That's like on average anywhere from an hour to 2 hours, 3 hours away.
It's a second house, yeah.
And you have to deal with all the problems you have when you have a house.
But also like a little less.
But it's in the middle of nowhere.
Exactly. Because cottages are in small townships.
Yeah.
And smaller townships mean it's harder to get work done out there.
Yeah. But I was thinking of
the price you pay for isolation.
I was thinking about this too. Like your uncle has a wonderful cottage in a very secluded part of
I honestly forget.
I think it's Peterborough way.
Something like that.
That didn't mean anything to people at home, but yes, it's a long way from where we live. It's like 3 hours. How the hell would you renovate that cottage? With like how would you get trucks in there? How?
Especially because you have to cut through a Jewish summer camp.
Yeah, that's the problem, right?
To get through it. And
it's like a bit of a wrench in the
last year it was easy because the camp was closed because of the pandemic. But normally, like, how are you gonna bring like contractor trucks like through there?
Yeah.
Fuck it. Like, no, I don't want to. And like, fortunately enough, my uncle is very talented and can do a lot of things for himself. And his friends can do things for themselves. So it's like, you're not bringing in like companies with a bunch of trucks and shit like that. It's just a bunch of dudes.
Yeah, exactly.
With their pickup trucks, just like hanging out for 4 days at a time. And they do things gradually. But if you're just like you and me, like we can't do shit with our hands. We have to hire people to do all of that.
No, are you kidding me? I learned what a hammer was last year. I bought the whole set of hammers. I didn't even need it for this studio.
No.
You have to use a hammer once.
No.
So
crazy.
When to return that $1,000 hammer package is unbelievable.
God, we're in so much debt.
Well, you build things with a hammer.
You had to buy the diamond encrusted hammer, and I told you it wasn't necessary. But that salesman was so convincing.
He was really good.
Yeah.
Listen, I bought it because he was good at his job.
Why did you spend $75,000 on a hammer, Cameron?
Well, you think of the return investment, all the things you'd build.
Like what?
So what's your favorite summer activity, Sam?
Growing up, my favorite summer activity was always swimming. I was like a water baby. I had a friend who had a pool, and I was in that pool like before everybody got in and after everybody got out. But now I'm older and got an iPod and blew my ears out, and now I have an inner ear thing and I can't swim as much.
Yeah, I'm actually the exact same way. I love swimming as a kid.
I can't like go deep. Like I can't go much. Like I can submerge my head and not much deeper before my ears start getting pressure in them. I can't do it.
If I go underwater pretty much at all, my ears will fill up with water and I will be deaf.
Yeah.
No, I'm not kidding. Like in terms of like I literally cannot hear anything.
Yeah.
And that has on vacations lasted anywhere from an hour to a day and a half.
Hate it.
So I just don't do that anymore.
Yeah.
Last time I went swimming, I didn't go underwater at all.
Yeah.
I got in the pool, but I didn't go underwater.
Yeah.
Which is a bummer because I really loved swimming as a kid.
And I loved going like underwater. I loved like touching the bottom of the pool.
Yeah, it was my favorite thing.
Oh my God.
I mean, the things you do as a kid that you can't do as an adult anymore, right? It's just
what can I say?
That's how the world works.
I wanted to listen to California Girls on repeat at 57 volumes.
Exactly. If I didn't listen to Teenage Dream by Katy Perry in the 9th grade every day at full volume, I will absolutely die.
It was a choice, you know. Do I want to be alive or do I want to go underwater?
Yeah, exactly. You know? Do I regret it? Yes.
Deeply.
Summer activities, that's a good one, swimming. I still like being around the water. Mm-hmm. My current favorite summer activity is to curl under an umbrella and enjoy the heat in the shade and read a book or something.
Yeah.
Like that is my current, like I am such a I'm not a high octane person, like at all. It's so like thrill seeking. I actually like. I say I don't. I understand literally, but I don't get it in terms of like it's just so not interested to me. Like
no desire to like.
No desire, not even a little bit. Like roller coasters, fucking perilous hikes.
I
like
do love an amusement park.
I'm not even really into hiking. Like I don't like being like I don't find activities where
like exerting yourself in the heat.
Super exerting myself. And also, like, I also retain heat because I'm a big person. So I run hot all the time.
Yeah.
So when I get hot, I stay hot.
Yeah.
Last time I went to a cottage this summer, in the effort, and we'll talk about this specifically in a minute, but not wanting to be a bump on a log, I went to go to the beach with my friends. And I was very open with the fact. I was like, guys, listen, I'm probably not going to be at this beach forever. I'm going to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I didn't have an umbrella, so I didn't bring one. So I lubed up, got all fucking nice and slick and protected from the sun. And after like an hour, I was like, I'm doing okay. And then like they're all in the water and I didn't really want to go in the water. I was sitting on the beach and it was like...
just so hot.
And I was like, I need to go home now.
And they wanted to play a game too, right? And
we did play a game.
Yeah, so like that was like exerting yourself.
Exactly. Yeah. That probably expedited some things.
Yeah.
But if I had an umbrella, I could have stayed there for the whole time, you know? But you're on vacation, you do what the fuck you want. Yeah. That's the way I see it.
In my elder years, the ripe old age of 27,
in my old age,
I'm very aware of sun damage. So like it's a thing that I got to work on. But as of late, I haven't really been enjoying going out in the sun so much. I used to love it as a kid.
Well, when we first started dating, you were like sun goddess, like fuck me up with the sun rays.
But you know, like ever since I started getting into skincare, and unfortunately, like my mom had a run-in with some melanoma. She's fine, but like you know, it was a thing. I'm just very aware of how badly the sun is trying to kill you. At all times in the car, if you're sitting next to a window, if you're out like under an umbrella, like I sit in the sun and I'm like, I'm getting damaged. Like best case scenario, I'm gonna have leathery ass skin. Like one of my aunts, I have an aunt with very leathery skin because she loves to sunbathe. And I think about her and I'm just like, I shudder.
Right.
Like I shudder. I hate leathery sun damaged skin.
You don't want to be a handbag.
I'm like, was it worth it to be hot for probably like cumulatively like a week in 1975, and now you look like a fucking handbag. Was it worth it?
And people
I don't think it was worth it.
Well, people used to put like oil on their bodies too.
And you know what? I don't think that here's my like bombastic summer opinion. I don't think that having a deep tan looks good.
Neither do I. For
like
what it's worth.
Aesthetically, I think it looks extremely fake.
Right.
I think everyone is better. Like people, like I know a lot of white people, obviously, and they say like, "Oh, I'm so pale. Oh my god, I go out in the sun and I just like refract light." And I'm like, "Yeah, but that's you." I think that you look good as yourself.
Well, naturally.
You were given your skin tone for a reason, and you rock it because it's yours. So I like stop trying to be a darker skin tone.
Yeah.
Because everybody knows that you tried to do it on purpose. Everybody knows that you went and sat out in the sun and you worked on being a darker skin tone, and it looks insanely fake. And I think that it's just better for everybody to be the skin tone that they are.
I agree. As a matter of fact, like thinking in my head now, I'm thinking of all the kind of people who like get tans and like keep tans in the summer. Maybe I'm being a little all-encompassing and generalizing, and that's obviously not a good thing, but, like, all of those people, like, I only ever picture shitheads. Like, I only ever picture, like, bleach blonde, fucking club people.
Yeah.
Or, like, I don't know. I
like
picture
Jersey Shore ass, like.
I picture, like, shitty CEO with his unbuttoned 2 buttons and his bleach blonde hair.
Yeah.
Like, smoking a
like
fat cigar.
Slimy, slithery.
Drinking whiskey with ice.
Scumbags.
Like, you know, 8 in the morning. Like, wore Hawaiian shirt because he's the owner of this place.
Yeah.
Only cheats on his wife, as a matter of fact.
Yeah. His kids call him sir.
Yeah, exactly. Like, he pays for everything, but, like, he still is a penny pincher, you know?
Yes,
Like, he's a billionaire, but he's a penny pincher.
Exactly.
That's the energy you're giving off if you tan, by the way. Just saying.
His kids are like, "Hey, Dad, can we go on a field trip to the nature reserve?" And he's like, "How much does it cost?" And you're like, "You're a CEO.
Yeah.
What the fuck do you care?
You own 10 cent. What the fuck?" Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, it's insanely fake to me. And I think that everybody should just rock the skin tone that they are. I don't think that being pale is ugly. I don't know who told you, but they're wrong, and I've never seen it.
Yeah.
And Yeah, you're just a fucking phony.
So yeah, so would you say then that like swimming's your favorite summer activity? For me, it's enjoying the heat in the way that I enjoy the heat, reading a book. Something about getting warm in the shade, I don't know, literally puts my brain, I think it literally overheats me and slows my brain down to the point where I can read comfortably and not get distracted.
Right.
Like I think that's actually what happens because every time, and I do mean every time that I go on vacation, and you've seen me on cottage vacations, I sometimes crush whole books.
Yes.
Like 600-700 page books in a weekend.
You'll bring like The Sculptor by Scott McCloud to the cottage and it's done in a day.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I read the entirety of Room.
Yes.
The Room where not Tommy not oh hi Mark the one with the people who are trapped in the room.
Yeah. The Brie Larson movie.
In its entirety. Yeah, that one trip.
Yep.
I read The Exorcist practically in its entirety.
Yep.
When we went to your cottage, your uncle's cottage.
Yeah.
Like, I love reading books, and I love reading books on vacation, and every single time I go on a vacation and crush a book, I'm like, here's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna go home, I'm gonna read just like this every day.
And you never...
And then I've been sitting on a book for like 2 years.
Well, because you're at a different pace at the cottage.
Totally.
You know, like you can really just do whatever you want. Like even if you're at a cottage with friends and like let's say everyone's like, hey, Cam, we want to go to the beach. If you wanted to say, oh, I'm going to stay here and read, like that's your choice.
Yeah,
you
okay, cool.
You
See you
go
in a couple
to
hours.
the cottage to move at your own pace.
And I love that about
That's the beauty
cottage.
of it.
That's why I love cottaging so much, honestly. Like,
Yeah.
sorry, I completely lost it. I was going to mention something else. I don't remember though. So would you say that like reading in the sun, favorite summer activity, swimming, and for also you, I guess, would be like enjoying the sun and the way you like to enjoy it is your favorite summer activity. Would you say that tanning is an overrated summer activity for you?
100%.
I mean...
Why the fuck are you doing it?
This might be controversial and a hot take. I think the beach is overrated, frankly.
I don't think that's a hot take. I think that's a very respectable take.
Thank you.
I do enjoy the beach. But I totally understand. Like, I have to be in the mood and I have to prep myself. I have to be like, okay, like... You're gonna be dealing with sand for 48 hours.
For the next, maybe the rest of your life.
Sand is nature's glitter. It truly is.
Everywhere.
It's just everywhere. All
when
the time.
I found my old backpack that I took to university, and I was like, oh, what if there's anything in here? And I dumped it out, some sand fell out. Yeah. And I was like, when the fuck did I go to the beach with this backpack? This is my school backpack. When would I have gone to the beach with it? Yeah. Like, how is there sand in here?
Everywhere. So like, I understand why you don't like it because you don't like being messy.
I do not like being messy.
No.
Contrary to what people might think, and maybe not at this point, but like I'm a very clean person.
Yeah.
I don't like being messy. Yeah. I don't like being around messes.
You don't like being messy or dirty.
No, I'm not into that. Nope. You know, not in my everyday life anyway.
Not at all.
And I don't like going and being hot for too long.
Yep.
I can't really swim the way I used to swim.
Also, I'm not gonna lie, like everyone's like, like we're gonna bring like a beach snack and it's gonna be great. Enjoying stuff at the beach just is not good. Nothing stays cold, no matter how many hot cold bags you buy, no matter how many ice packs you put in stuff, no matter how high tech your cooler is, you're gonna have like weird cold but warm soda.
Yep.
And like gritty chips because sand is gonna wilted watermelon.
Like awesome.
Gritty chips because you can't fully dust all, and like, you know, the greasiness from the chips gets in the sand and you're just like grimy and covered in like chip grease. You don't know if it's chip grease or sunscreen, and you're like eating sunscreen while you're licking the salt off of your hands, and it's just like, it's not as fun as it's made out to be.
And there's pretty much like, I don't know why they call sandals because you're really not supposed to wear them at the beach because they don't help.
No.
Like at all.
No.
Right? Like, and I have this personal thing where it's like, I should just really, next time I go to the beach, what I'm going to do is really just shell the money out and get a mounted umbrella, and a fucking sun chair. Like a foldable sun chair. Yeah. Because I'm not trying to sit on a fucking towel on the beach. Like, give me a break. This isn't fun.
At some point, you do want a chair.
Yes.
You want some fucking lumbar support.
You know, we go to the beach and it's like...
if you're going to read.
Yes, exactly. I want to be able to look down at my book.
Like lying down like this, and sorry to everybody who's listening to the podcast and not watching it, but like lying face down with a book over your face just doesn't work.
No, not at all.
It never,
as
like,
a matter of fact.
The blood runs all the way and just like sits in your elbow. Yeah. And then you can't feel your fingers after a while.
And this sucks.
Yeah.
You also like, typically when you're laying down, you're craning up. The sun is also in the sky. Yeah. So like you move your book and you're like, you're just gonna get blinded by the goddamn sun. I hate being messy. I hate having fucking sand encrusted on my feet.
Yeah.
And then I hate putting my sandals on and then feeling the sand on my feet.
Yeah.
And then it's audacious because everyone's always like, oh, let's go to the beach. And I'm like, oh, yeah, that sounds like a good idea. Let's go to the beach. And you go to the beach and there's fucking rocks everywhere.
Yeah.
Because we're destroying the beach.
Also Ontario beaches, like
super rocky.
Like freshwater lakes and stuff like that. Like, it's just not nice.
No.
Like, I mean, like when we went to Cuba and there was like a beautiful white sand.
That was wonderful. It was a
and
wonderful
it was just
beach.
all sand for days.
That was better.
It was so fun.
There's tons of umbrellas. So
I enjoyed that beach day, but Ontario beach days, like there's sticks in the sand. It's more annoying than rocks, to be perfectly honest.
Exactly.
The sticks.
Yeah, and I'll be honest.
A splinter. You know, I can stand being hurt by rocks, but sticks give you splinters.
Exactly.
No, thank you.
But the last thing before we get off this topic of shitting on the thing you guys all probably like.
Yeah.
I remember I think the biggest kicker is if your beach has bugs. Sandflies, horseflies.
Oh.
Like, we went camping last year.
Oh, the worst.
Maybe I missed it, maybe whatever, but I didn't.
That was also a bad time of year to go to the beach.
It was
like
but
end of summer.
Here's the thing. I didn't even know the beach was on the table when we went.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't know there was a beach close by. And, you know, me, I don't like being a bump on a log. So, like, when I woke up today and, like, you know, we're all having breakfast, hanging out, and we're like, I was like, what are we doing today? Like, oh, we want to go to the beach. I was like,
oh, man.
what?
Yeah.
There's a beach here?
Yeah.
You guys want to fucking... So then, you know, we all went, and I had a chair and the umbrella, and I was like, cool, like, well, they're going to swim, and I'll just read. And then the umbrella wouldn't stay up, and it kept falling over every 5 seconds, and then I put the chair down, and like it kept like sinking in certain parts, and then when I finally got comfortable, I was getting eaten alive by bugs, and I think I was there for maybe 20 minutes, and then I was like, I'm going back to the camp. I don't want to do this anymore.
I didn't want to do this to begin with, and then I honestly tried, and it was just too hard.
Yeah, that's legit what happened.
That was a shit beach, though.
It was a shit beach.
I'm sorry. Like, I'm not going to say the park that we went to, mostly because I don't remember, but I don't remember the name.
It's a nice park, shit beach.
Yeah, it was a nice campsite, but the beach was just and I think, I don't know how water works, but I think the tide was high. So there wasn't a lot of beach. There wasn't that much beach.
And we were so close to the grass where like all of the bugs were.
Yeah. So it was just bad.
Yeah, man, I'm not going to lie.
It was just a bad time of year to go to the beach.
It was just so funny because like I had to really, obviously, like, if I'm having a bad time, I try my best not to poo-poo other people's time.
You can't, I'm sorry. Like, you think that I'm bad at hiding my feelings? When you are dissatisfied.
Right.
It's...
Yeah.
You know.
Which is why I removed myself from the situation. Yeah. But you notice I didn't say, what I wanted to say was stand up and go, all right, I fucking hate this.
Yeah.
I want to go back to the camp. I'm going to go back to the camp. Yeah. All I said was, all right, I think I've had enough, but thank you guys. You know, enjoy the beach.
Yeah.
I'll see you back at the camp. And then I just sort of like
and did 5 minutes later, we were right behind you.
Exactly. Where I think that like something my brother's wife always points this out, where it's like, I'm very quick to assess a situation.
Yeah.
And then, you know, plus or minus on it.
Yeah.
And then in my experience, whenever I go, no, I'm fine, I don't want to do that, most people go, shit, this is kind of shitty, isn't it? And maybe I don't want to do it too.
Oh my God, it was so funny. This is a bit of a this is a sidebar, but when your brother and your sister-in-law were in town 2 weeks ago, we were all sitting outside and like having a good time, but they wanted to watch the fight, like the UFC fight.
Yep, we had the McGregor fight on.
So they had like a TV set up on a table, and we were all sitting around the table in chairs. But it was getting towards the end of the night, and like the fight had kind of ended, but we were just like still sitting around talking at the table for some reason.
Sitting next to the beautiful L couch.
Yes.
The outdoor L couch.
The beautiful patio furniture with the like comfy cushions
on it. No one was sitting on, yeah.
And I remember at one point, Duncan and I were literally talking to each other. Like, he and I were talking. We were like, yeah, honestly, I want to go sit on the couch, but I don't want to be the person who just like stands up and like solo goes to the couch, because I'm not the kind of person that everybody follows. So I'm just going to be sitting over at the couch by myself.
Right.
So, but I want to be around the people. And he was like, yeah, no, totally. Like, I totally agree. And then 5 minutes later, you stood up and said, like, proclaimed, you were like, I'm going to the couch.
Yeah.
And everyone was like, go. And then I looked over at Duncan, and we were like, of course fucking Cameron gets everybody over to the couch.
Yeah, because,
of course.
Because it's a mix of that's what I want.
Yeah.
And a mix. The other half is I know that's what everybody else wants.
You have the cojones to say, I know you all want to do this.
Yes.
I know you do.
If my ass hurts, everybody's ass hurts.
And when you left the beach, you were you were very like thinking about yourself.
Well, obviously, yeah.
But it was very on par. Like even like subconsciously, you were on the same wavelength as everybody else. You just are the only one with enough balls to say it out loud when we're all being polite and like trying to make it work.
Yeah.
And there's something to be said for both sides of the thing.
Well,
where
obviously.
It's like, trying to make the best out of a bad situation, trying to turn a bad experience and like get some silver linings out of it. But there's also something to be said about being honest and being like, I'm having a bad time, you're having a bad time, and we can have a good time somewhere else.
Let's just
stop being so attached to this idea of the beach.
Yes, exactly.
Like we can have a good time somewhere else.
Because I do what you described. Like I am someone who tries to make the best of a bad situation.
Yeah.
But I have a bar.
Yeah.
And when that bar gets crossed, I'm also very honest.
You're calling it.
And like, I'm like, okay, I'm getting eaten alive. The fucking sun is bearing down on me. I didn't bring any goddamn beach clothes. There's sand in my feet. The chair is sinking. I want to go home. It's just like that's the bar, right?
And you know what? It's like sensible to want to go home at that point. It's not like we picked a beautiful day and the sand was plush and like soft and if we brought like there was like a net and we were like having fun and like a dog ran up to us. We were all petting it.
Oh, that would be the best.
And you were sitting in the corner like under an umbrella with a frown on your face.
I hate the beach.
No, it was a cloudy day. The water was cold. There were rocks everywhere. We were all getting bitten by fleas.
Yep.
Like, you were within your right. It was a bad time.
Exactly.
It was a bad time.
If even two of those things didn't happen, I probably would have stayed. I'd probably be like, well, you know what? This is fun. I'm with friends.
Yeah.
But because it was all 9 of those things, I was like,
I'm calling it.
If I'm going to get eaten by bugs, I'm going to do it around the campfire.
I'm just calling it.
The place we paid for. Bye, everyone.
Yeah.
And then I got lost. I got lost in the campsite for like 20 minutes. Couldn't find our fucking campsite. I ended up in the place where the trailers were. And I was like... And I was already in like such a bad mood because of what happened. And you guys know me. I don't stay in bad moods for long. Like the second I sat down in the campsite, I was like, cool, I'm fine now.
Yeah.
But like, it was just sort of exacerbated by the fact I was like... I haven't been fully comfortable for 3 days. I've been running at 75% comfortability for 3 days. Yeah. And it's starting to bother me.
And now you're adding sand fleas to the equation. I'm out.
It's starting to bother me.
That's the point where you're like, you know what? The camping novelty has worn off. And now
it was like Sunday.
Now I am just outside. I'm just outside,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of camping, the summer activities, I really do love camping, though.
That was a summer tradition that I did as a kid a lot, too.
And it's fun.
Yeah,
Camping's
we
fun.
would always go camping with my friend and his family and my mom.
Like camping,
sometimes my dad, but my dad really wasn't having it.
I could see maybe why. Your dad's a city guy, so he didn't strike me as the kind of guy,
city slicker,
who doesn't really enjoy being outdoors. Because I'm very much a homebody, very much. I would argue that I'm a city person. I'm more like a suburb person.
Yeah.
I don't live in the city.
Yeah.
But I do prefer modern conveniences. However, when it's like contained, like when you guys, you have lots of very outdoorsy friends.
Mm-hmm.
And
I don't know how that happened.
Right? Insane. I know.
Yeah.
But when you guys brought up the idea of camping, I was like, I'll go to like a park.
Yeah.
Or a lot.
Yeah.
But if you folks are trying to shack up in the fucking greenbelt somewhere, like I'm not gonna do that.
No.
I
have some friends who are very down for that. But like, see, I have like outdoorsy friends and then like quasi outdoorsy friends, and the quasi outdoorsy friends kind of have to like balance out the Bear Grylls like ready to fucking drink their own piss at any day.
Like a jug for their own piss. Yeah. Just like, I brought this from home.
Just in case.
Why do you know? Anyway, yeah.
I got this in a bottle of iodine. Let's fucking do this.
Did you bring any food?
We'll hunt for food.
What?
The earth gave us plenty of food.
Yeah.
I've learned to identify 5 different species of mushrooms. Well, I got this.
And then you're just tripping balls for the rest of the trip. Like
I have
poisoned.
I have a cooler full of snacks. Let's go.
Exactly, yeah. But I'm very much of the opinion where it's like, if you're going to go to an outdoorsy trip, and cottages are in this vein as well, that's where I think the whole like summer physical exertion thing can come in. Yeah. I'm still not really one for hikes. Like, I don't know. Like, I like the idea of hikes. Yeah. I like the end of the hike when you see the beautiful view.
It really is just like extreme walking.
Yeah.
Like, I walk. That's what always gets me to go on a hike is like, I walk every day.
Right.
How much harder could it be if I go like uphill a couple of times?
You're right. And you know what?
It's probably good for me.
I've probably been enjoying it more. All the hikes I went on the last couple of years have just been when in my extremely out of shape state. and I've been trying to exercise more. And
we also don't have hiking gear. Like if you
No.
footwear is really pertinent
Exactly.
to enjoying a hike.
That's what I said to my
It
friends,
really
because I have friends who love hiking, and I was like, guys, listen, I'm not going to go hiking without boots, because I've been hiking with running shoes, and it sucks. When there's a point where you reach, it's so fucking vertical, and you're basically rock climbing at this point.
Yeah.
And it's like, this is not what I fucking signed up for.
You're better off in bare feet.
I will say the trails in Nova Scotia were great, though.
Yeah.
We went a lot of, obviously very, light,
I was going to say, we went on, paved trails.
Yeah, but I liked that, though.
Yeah.
That to me is, enjoying a stroll in nature.
If I may be an asshole for a moment.
Well, you always are.
I think I am not. I think that while it is nice that we as a society, as a civilization, have, learned to pave roads through nature while also sort of not disturbing the natural habitats that are there, it would be nice if we could get to a point where we didn't need, Western civilized paths in order to navigate the natural world.
Sure.
I think that there's a little bit, I think that we as a society need to meet nature halfway, and that involves not paving through it.
Well, there were some trails that weren't paved, but it was a dirt path. It was a visible walked path.
Yeah, well, lots of people have walked through it, and that's understandable. I mean, that's natural to me. But literally a paved path, a paved road, for my Kitchenerites, the Huron Natural area, which is very paved and constructed and designed, and it's been curated. I think that we could do with less of that. I think that if you're going to interact with nature, you need to meet nature where it's at,
right,
and not make it so that it's acceptable to us as a civilized society. But we need to really if you're gonna do it, then do it. You should learn to appreciate nature for all that it's worth.
And I agree. My whole thing with hiking is that if I'm gonna go hiking, I'm likely on vacation or on a trip where it's supposed to be relaxing.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be exhausted by the end of this hike. That to me just is not how I wouldn't want to play a full football game either.
Exactly.
It's even though that's fun, I don't want to go back to the cottage and be like, Jesus Christ, I need a shower, and I can't breathe.
And that just comes down to who you are,
yeah,
right? I can't really and I'm saying I'm going to be an asshole here for a second, because if you're going to go on the type of vacation in which you're going to be interacting with nature, then you can't expect city what's it called? Amenities.
Conveniences? Yeah.
Conveniences.
I agree with that.
And it's clear that you're just the type of person, and I think we made this clear in our vacation episode where we talked about holidays and stuff like that, if you were given complete control over a situation, you would not choose a vacation for yourself where you would go hiking and adventuring. That's not relaxing to you.
No.
You want to sit, you want to coast, you want to chill out, you don't want a lot of pressure on you.
Go on walks. Walks are fun.
Excuse me.
And I would go on a trail. I just don't want to go on a trail.
You would go on a walk in a city.
Sure.
We could walk around New York.
Yeah.
We could pick a borough of New York and just walk around
and
for
find
a
some
long
stuff.
time.
Yeah, that's fine with me.
But you don't want scaling up hills and walking around.
And listen, because I've done that, right?
I just think if you're going to do that, you should not expect paved pathways.
Well, of course,
because you're signing up to be in nature. So go be in nature. Stop asking for pathways.
I want to make myself clear that I wasn't.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
When we went camping with your friends last year, there was a hike that I didn't go on.
Yeah.
Because I asked Squid, I was like, so what's the difficulty of this hike? She was like, no, there's going to be some points you might have to do some climbing.
Yeah.
And I was like, then I'm going to stay here. I don't want to go.
Totally fair.
Yeah. Because not for anything, as you've mentioned, when that bar gets crossed, my threshold of enjoying myself turns into not enjoying myself. I don't want to ruin everybody else's time. Mm-hmm. I'm aware of that. Mm-hmm. So why don't you go do the thing you like?
Yeah.
And I'll do the thing that I like here.
Yeah.
And we can all be comfortable knowing that we're having fun.
Yeah.
Where we are.
Totally.
And I will say though, there's a lot of people who I think have a hard time accepting that in general. Mm-hmm. And I think that's why, again, we talked about the vacation episode, but you really need to pick who you go traveling with.
Totally. Yeah. Or at least the thing that works out when we go camping is that we're with people who are willing to accept that, hey, certain people don't love going on hikes and some people do. So the people who go on hikes.
Yeah.
And the people who don't stay at the campsite and play cards. And
I'm not going to be...
That's all legit.
I am not, and I promise you, not going to be salty, thinking like, I can't believe they went on a hike.
Yeah.
Here I am, sitting, flicking the bean. You know,
you can entertain yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I think I already love being alone, so like this is great.
Let's twist my arm.
You know?
Absolutely.
But yeah. Summer activities. Oh, speaking of camping, did you ever go to summer camp?
I did.
Yeah.
I did have to go to a summer camp or two in my day. I went to a lot of summer camps, actually. And I understand that's a privilege. That's something that I've come to, it's something that I had to wake up to in my older years, that camp is really expensive.
It's super expensive.
It's super expensive, and I understand why. When I would complain about it, my parents would force me to go. But I did. I went to like science camp. I went to farm camp. I went to soccer camp.
Farm camp?
Yeah.
What the fuck is farm camp?
That was actually my favorite camp of all the ones that I went to.
Chill on a farm? You just did farm stuff?
Yeah. So
like fun.
So it was at a place called Steckel Farms in Kitchener.
Right.
Shout out to them. And they would like take you around, and you could like pet sheep and meet chickens and cows and horses. And then you would also do camp stuff. Like we would play games and do crafts and do activities together. But we would also like make up plays, which was, like,
here we are.
Listen, that's where I really
It's your career now. Yeah.
Yeah. And it was also so dope because like, for the first couple of hours when people were getting dropped off, and then at the end of the day when people were getting picked up, they would sort of end activities for the day. And in this barn, there was this giant hay pit where you would play in. And it was like imagine a ball pit, but hay. And it was so soft, itchy as shit. And my mom hated it because it would stick to your clothes and you would like bring it in the house.
For sure.
I had to like keep my shoes outside during the Steckel Farm week because like I was just covered in hay. But it was so fun. They would just let us fucking run wild and just like play in the hay pit and run around. And we would like pretend that the hay was lava, and we would like crawl around the side of the barn and like fall in and be like, oh my God. And then we'd like laugh and like get up and run around again.
That sounds like fun.
But it was, to me, it was the perfect balance, because I understand that at camp you got to do camp things. And I'm not a huge fan of camp activities.
Me neither.
I don't like singing songs. I don't like doing your fucking crafts, because then I have to take the crafts home. And then what? I got to be responsible for this friendship bracelet now that I'm never going to use.
I think I had a very... Never mind, keep going.
Yeah.
I'll share my memory in a second.
Yeah, and it's like, I don't know. I don't like stereotypical camp activities, but there was a fair balance of doing that and touching the animals, which I loved. I loved hanging out with the animals and like meeting them and figuring out what they do and like learning about farm life, like agriculture, and like how important it was to, support farmers. And just like the value that agriculture brings to our society. I thought it was very balanced. And I loved the equal parts play and structure of that specific camp.
Nice.
Yeah.
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 I think that makes sense, right? Because I like that sounds like the best of both worlds a lot.
Yeah.
Because I think the problem with a lot of these other camps you described, I'm sure like science camp and the other camps you mentioned, is that like the thing that you go there for is never the thing you do the most of, right?
Yeah.
Like I went to 2 camps growing up. I went to computer camp and then I went to golf camp. I know, but couple of doozies.
So white.
So I know, and golf camp golf wasn't a stay away camp. It was like
Yeah, I only ever did day camp.
Yeah,
I
me
never
too.
did stay away camp.
But golf camp was fun because we just played golf, and like as a kid, I didn't really know anything about golf, but like fucking hit a golf ball, right?
So
like
bougie.
a little boring, right?
Yeah.
Like if I could be perfectly honest with you, it's a little dry. And the computer camp is a lie. It is just simply not what you do.
Yeah.
You spend maybe an hour trying to learn HTML a day, maybe, and then you spend the other 7 hours doing camp things like canoeing or making fucking crafts or dumb bullshit like that.
Like crafts, I can understand. Crafts are sort of like the brick and mortar of. Like they're like the cornerstone of any camp experience. But canoeing at computer camp?
Yeah.
Why?
I thought this was computer. I actually thought like going to computer camp, I was like, in my head, I was like, oh, play computer games all day.
Yeah.
But in like reality, like thinking about it, like if I was to go to computer camp, like I would have loved to learn website design.
Yeah.
Isn't this like what this is supposed to be?
Yeah.
Not just fuck around on this Mac from 98 for 45 minutes, then you have a crappy sandwich lunch where no one brought anything good, so it's all just crap.
You can't even trade.
No.
There's no snack economy. It sucks.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And like you said, like I'm not into singing the songs, I'm not into fucking holding hands, singing fucking Kumbaya.
Yeah.
I don't like the energy of camp.
Yeah.
Every camp counselor I know, never mind. I
cut this out. Cut that part out.
In the middle of that thought, I was like, one of my close friends is a camp counselor and likes the job.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna shit on them.
And like some kids are on board with all of this camp shit that we're dunking on. So like it's
some kids
totally
love
up their
it.
alley.
If anything, actually, we're probably the outliers in that situation.
Yeah.
But you talked about crafts.
Yeah.
I was because like, again, you have to understand that like when I went to computer camp, I think I was in like the 6th or 7th grade. Mm-hmm. I went with Duncan, my brother, who went for a week. And I, for some reason, went for 2. Because my mom signed me up for 2 weeks. Because she thought, it's computer camp, Cameron would really like it.
Yeah.
But like my friend who I went with wasn't doing 2 weeks.
Yes.
So I was just stuck with like the kids I didn't talk to for a week. And now there's a bunch of new kids.
Yeah.
Because it's week to week. Mm-hmm. And that was a miserable time in my life. Mm-hmm. And like, as we talked about, like I got that threshold and I didn't like doing any of the other shit, right? Like they'd be like, hey, want to go canoeing? And I'd be like, no. I don't want to go canoeing. Because you think I'm honest now. You should have met me when I was 9. Or I would just be
I've heard the stories,
like, Cameron, you wanna sing songs around the campfire? Like, no, I do not. I'm actually perfectly content right here. And you can enjoy your songs. I'll listen from here.
If you leave me here, I promise I won't go anywhere. Just please leave me alone.
Well, because that's the thing, right? And I get it, right? From a camp counselor's perspective, the kid who doesn't want to do something is going to get bored and get into trouble.
Yeah.
I never got bored as a kid.
No, very content to just sit and read a book.
I was really just content by myself, talking by myself or with a friend, just like hanging out. Like I'm not going to go to the fucking canteen and like dump over the water or something.
No.
Like I'm not going to do that.
No.
But obviously, from their perspective, they don't know that, right? But because I had such a bad time doing all this shit, I had all these like crappy crafts that I made throughout the 2 weeks I was there. And on the last day, you had to take it all home. And the camp counselor saying goodbye, like, bye, Cameron, bye. I was like, bye. And I had like my bag full of crafts and shit. And then I walked over and threw them all in the trash and got in the car and went home.
You know what I imagine? I imagine like a 9-year-old Cam like walking away from camp, like the last day of camp with like an armful of crafts. And the camp counselor is like, bye, Cameron. It was so nice meeting you. Have a great summer. Have a great school year. And you're like wearing shades in my fantasy for some reason.
For sure, whatever.
And you turn around and like you look at the camp counselor directly in the eyes and you hold a trash bag out and you just dump all the crafts into the trash bag. And then like get into the car, which has tinted windows.
Exactly.
And like your mom like pulls out and like drives you home.
Like peels away. Like,
exactly. You're all like skirts out of camp.
Yeah, hit a kid on the way out.
The camp counselor is just like crying. He's like, you threw out a bracelet.
See, it's funny because I actually think it's more insensitive than that because I think what actually would hurt more is what actually happened, which is the nonchalant nature of how I just threw it out.
Yeah.
Like, I threw it out like you throw out trash. It wasn't like...
it was trash to you.
It wasn't like, oh, these memories. Fuck these memories. It was like, there's my mom. Oh, yeah. And then it's just like, well, I don't want any of this shit. So I threw it out. And it's funny because I think my mom, and probably because my mom knows me very well, in her head, she was probably like, I can't wait to see all the crafts and things that Cam made throughout the week. And then he'd be like, did you have any crafts? I was like, yeah, they're in the trash over there. I just threw them out.
Oh.
Yeah, she was probably like, yep. And then she never signed me up for a camp again. But you know what? I got really good at telling my parents exactly what I want.
Right.
You know, granted, listen, I'm not trying to sit here like my parents did everything exactly what I want.
Yeah.
But learning how to communicate and be honest started very early.
Yeah.
My mom signed me up for something else. I played football after that. And that stuck for a while.
Right.
Right? So, like, you know, camp was an X. And that read loud and clear.
Camp was a no-go.
Camp was a no-go for Cameron.
Hard no.
So they didn't put me in camp again. They learned that lesson.
Yeah.
And I taught them that lesson.
You trained your parents.
Exactly.
Yeah.
When they were like, oh, do you have any crafts? I was like, no. What'd you do with this? I fucking threw it out.
But knowing your mom, because your mom hates like junk and like clutter.
It would get thrown out anyway.
So it's like, yeah, like your mom would probably be like, oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
And then throw it in the trash for you.
Well, exactly.
So you just like saved her the work.
It would have been a couple of months of like it sitting around.
Yeah.
And then it would have disappeared and I would have never noticed.
Yeah.
Like that's just how it would have gone.
Absolutely.
It's funny because my mom always tells a story, a little side tangent about me as a kid, I suppose. But it has to do with summer activities because it's always... When you're young and you're hanging out with your parents, like they sign you up for activities. Like I've never liked group singing, like little chanting. Like now, listen, I'm very obviously at 26, I have some different looks on life than when I was 9.
Of course.
I don't like being a bump on a log anymore.
Yeah.
But I was definitely when I was younger.
Also, like we love a good folk song.
Why not?
Camp songs are a different breed, but like a nice folk song, you know? We all get
into
together and sing Wagon Wheel or some shit.
Clap your hands in unison with everybody, have a good old time, you know, whatever. That's fun.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, I remember my mom was telling me the story, but like I was like 4 or 5 years old. She took me to like this like mother's meeting with like groups of kids, and they were singing Wheels on the Bus, and I was like,
At 4 years old, you were like, you fucking lame.
I was like, I don't want to do this. Like, Goo Goo Gaga. Like, I don't want to do this.
Goo Goo Gaga, no thank you.
Yeah. No, thank you, mother. Mother.
Oh man, young Cam just like can't get into Wheels on the Bus.
No,
I love it.
Well, because I was also very self-conscious. In retrospect, I was very self-conscious.
There's also a little anxiety.
So I didn't really want to get embarrassed. I didn't want to feel embarrassed.
Yeah.
So which is why camp is sort of a breeding ground for that kind of thing. Which is why I never liked it.
Yeah.
Right. And I probably wouldn't. I mean, unless listen, if/when we even have kids, I would probably never even entertain the idea unless it was something that piqued their interest. Like they watched a cartoon, they were like, oh, "That looks like fun."
Mm-hmm.
I'd be like,
cool Treo cartoon camp.
Yeah.
And like for what it's worth, I gotta hand it to our parents. It's summer.
Yeah.
You have to work still all day. So where's the kid gonna go?
To camp. You know? Why do you think she signed up for 2 weeks?
You gotta go somewhere.
Get me out of the fucking house.
You can't stay in the house. Like
totally
I can't leave you. Like I cannot legally leave you alone in this house. You gotta go somewhere, and babysitters are only so available.
And you know what? I really don't even blame them for that.
No, it's not one of the things I do. Like I do still maintain that I did not like it.
Of course.
But it's not one of these things where I'm like, you sent me to camp. And you didn't even think that I was evicting me. I had to go somewhere. I'm a child.
Yeah.
You know?
You're not shaking in the corner like, we made paper mache dolls.
Yeah.
For 3 hours.
Yeah. I never bring up summer camp in therapy.
No.
You know, it's really not one of those things.
It didn't ruin me. I just didn't like it.
Yeah. I just simply did not like it. But no, and you just picked up some nice lessons at camp, you know? Like I said, I went to, like I mentioned before, I went to science camp.
That's right.
Learned some valuable lessons.
About science.
Made ice cream out of liquid nitrogen. It was a great time.
Ooh,
I didn't make it. The camp counselors, who were university students, handled it. Actually, it was at UW.
Was it?
Yeah.
Well, that wouldn't have been so bad.
Yeah, ESQ camp, which, by the way, if any parents are out there listening, if ESQ summer camp at UW is still a thing, I highly recommend it. It's a great time.
Well, all right. That
was my second favorite summer camp that I actually enjoyed.
So, realistically speaking, you had 2 positive camp experiences and 1 negative one.
Yeah, soccer camp was not 2 negative ones.
Okay.
Soccer camp was not fun. I had the same thing that happened to you at computer camp that happened to me, where my friend only went for 1 week, but my mom thought that I wanted to go for 2. And I was like,
but didn't
Mother,
consult
what made you say that?
Yeah. Mother, I do not wish to go for 2 weeks of camp.
Yeah. She's like, well, I paid for it. You are going. And that sucked. It was so awkward. And I thought I was going to water park camp.
It's not camp. The fuck?
Exactly. I thought I was pulling off the greatest heist. I was like, great, I'm going to be at the water park all day, every day. My cousin went to it and made it sound so great. She was like, you get to go on whatever rides you want. Realistically, you go to the water park, but you're like off-site. It was at Bingaman's in Kitchener. And you're like off-site for the day, and you have to do camp shit all day fucking long. And then at lunchtime, you get an hour to go to the water park, and like, you know, you have like a full pass to all of the different sections in the water park, but it's only an hour.
So a lie.
And you got to stand in line.
A lie. It's a lie.
I went on like 2 slides.
Right.
It's such a rip.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe this is different nowadays, but themed camps really got to stop lying.
Yeah.
Like, say that this is like camp computer.
You
know?
Yeah,
where it's like,
exactly.
You're going to do crafts and bullshit for most of it.
Yeah.
And then there's also time on the computer.
Yes.
You know? Don't say, this is computer camp, where you're going to be on computers. It's like the things you would do at camp on a computer. You know, it's like, no, that's a fucking lie, is what it is.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous. Just like call it like it is.
You know?
Soccer camp didn't lie. I got to give them that. We did do soccer drills all day fucking long.
That was summer camp?
Yep.
That was soccer camp.
Yep.
Soccer practice for a week.
Wow. Yep.
Sounds like fun.
I think the funnest thing we did was we played that game where you had to like keep the ball in the air with your knees.
Yeah, keep up.
For as long as you could.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That was probably the funnest thing that we did.
And how you do that for what, like an hour, maybe?
Not even.
Well, there you go.
And then because that camp was also run by university students, they would play counselors versus campers, and it was like 50 against like 5, but it was 50 6-year-olds against 6 to 12-year-olds against 5 23-year-olds.
Right.
It was painful. We got a blip. They hurt us, Cameron.
You get slide tackled by a 23-year-old.
A 24-year-old man kicked a ball full force at me playing goalie.
That's right.
I got hit in the chest. I got the wind knocked out of me.
Of course.
Like, hard. It hurt.
You got your fucking third titty knocked out.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Well, I had a third titty until that day.
You know what's really funny about what you just said? I think that every unathletic, no offense this for the both of us, every unathletic kid who's forced to play a sport thinks that, I'll be the goaltender because they're the ones that sit around.
Yeah.
Arguably one of the most athletic positions on the team. Because you need to know knowledge of the sport.
Not when the kids are 11 and like can't stop fighting over a ball to save your life. You really do get to just stand there. It was great.
Yeah, that's of course a little bit different. But
professionally speaking, yes, the goalie is very active member of the team.
They're often calling shots and they're the last line of defense. Because in my experience, when I was like, I'll be goalie because I want to stand around, it never happened.
No.
There's always like kids in my face fucking shooting balls at me and shit.
Yeah.
I never liked pain I wasn't like a rough and tumble get in the dirt kind of kid.
No, I was not
when someone shot a ball at me, I'd get out of the way.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I don't want to get hit by the ball. No. It's going to fucking hurt.
Yeah.
I don't want to do that.
I'm going to break a fucking tooth. I don't want that.
Exactly.
I'm very proud of my dental record.
Well, last thing on the thing here, Sam, speaking of dental records, what's your favorite food to eat in the summer? Like a summertime food you can only get during the summer. I actually I have a few, but like the most boring one, in my opinion, is watermelon.
Okay.
Watermelon is the best during. I know you can get watermelon year round, but like, can you?
No, you can't.
Can you really?
You can get all summer fruits year round, but you really shouldn't.
No, you gotta get them in season. As someone who used to work
in a grocery store, don't try it. Stop trying.
Like
Stop ordering raspberries in January.
They're
gonna suck,
Martha.
They're gonna suck,
Bitch.
Martha, Brenda, fucking Natalie.
Portman.
Who the fuck do you think you are?
I loved you in Thor.
Natalie Portman is haunting me.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Because she wants raspberries in January.
Yeah.
It's the one thing she doesn't even get them in June.
No.
It's only in January.
Biggest pain in my side.
But yeah, no, watermelon when it comes around, I love watermelon in the morning. It's probably one of my favorite fruits. And it's a nice, refreshing way to start your day. And I think that's what I really like about the summer.
It almost quenches your thirst if you get like a good, juicy watermelon.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
What
about you?
You know me, I'm a huge fan of summer treats.
Oh yes, like your ice creams, your freezies.
My ice cream trucks, my
Haagen-Dazs.
My Haagen-Dazs.
Yeah. Haagen-Dazs.
My favorite thing to do is to go to these like outskirts, like rural areas, and a lot of them have like ice cream. Like you can get like ice cream, and a lot of them give generous portions.
Yes.
And they have the best flavors. That's where
my
you
God.
get your moose tracks.
Yes.
And your fucking your kids ice cream or whatever, like Tiger Stripe and like your cotton candy, all that shit.
Yeah, man. It's good shit.
Yeah. I love a good, and it's in like a nondescript white tub that's recycled from the Gulf War.
They've been putting ice cream in there for fucking 80 years.
Yeah. They get it in like huge white tubs that just say ice cream in black letters, in brackets, moose tracks.
But that's what you want.
Yeah.
That's the good shit right there.
That's the good shit.
Listen, I don't know what it is, guys. Another thing to add on what you just said is like summer is also food truck season. Like food truck is something that also comes around year round.
Yes.
But mostly gets a chunk of their business in the summer.
Yes.
When I roll up to a place and there's like a chip truck or a poutine truck, or even like a smoked truck. Those are kind of a new thing, kind of like a smoked truck.
Yeah,
I've always wanted to go.
Smoked meat, you mean?
Smoked meat?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, not like, yeah, can I get a pack of Swishers and some Romeo and Juliets? Like, no, not like a smoked truck.
Yeah.
Like a smoked meat truck.
Yeah.
And I love food truck food. Listen, my favorite aesthetic for a quick afternoon eat is to walk into a place with like tile floor and they're kind of gringy, a little grody. There's a counter.
It's got to be a little sus.
A little sus.
Yeah.
You know, it's like hole in the wall. Quite literally definition of the hole in the wall.
Yeah.
I want to walk in and they don't have air conditioning. They have a fan that's going in the corner, and I want them
There's
to
like
sell
tinsel attached to it to like add some flair.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's all white in here.
Yeah.
You know, they have a sneeze guard, but they haven't wiped it down in years.
Or like they have, but they don't do it well, so it's streaky.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, you did it.
They have a Windex bottle full of water.
Yeah.
You know, like it's not even full of Windex anymore.
Yeah, it's like vinegar and water.
And you can get the best food you've ever had in your fucking life.
Yep. The like hottest, freshest steak cut fries.
Yeah, man.
With like, and I don't know what it is, but the salt at these places just tastes better.
It really does.
Like the way that the salt sits on the fries with the grease, it just tastes better.
Oh my God.
It's a very specific nostalgic flavor that cannot be recreated in any sort of like fancy kitchen.
No.
You know, like
I love eating food, man.
I know.
I'm getting hungry right now thinking about it, actually.
It's my favorite. It's my favorite.
No, yeah. See, that is what I will say. Like a day at the beach, I can suffer a day at the beach, whatever. If we're gonna get some good food later, that'll make the beach day worth it.
Yeah.
You know, like you're at the beach, you go, for me, I don't love the beach. Oh, okay, we're leaving now. Ooh, ice cream. Or like, ooh, poutine.
Or like a diner.
A diner is a nice one too.
Yeah.
You know, where it's like the windows are nice and open and there's a nice spot there. It's pretty cool in here, you know, like, yeah, man.
The waitress calls you hun.
Exactly.
Yeah.
She offers you coffee even though you're 10.
Yeah.
And your mom is like, no, can't have it.
You tried it.
You tried it. And you're like, it's fucking gross. Yeah, exactly.
Oh my God, it's the best.
Now I gotta think about it, like really summer treats. Like I don't eat, like besides watermelon, there's nothing really super specific I eat. It's just more about like summer is the time to spend time with friends. And we've mentioned this on many, many episodes, but like eating a meal together for me is a very intimate form of bonding that I do with all of the people and the people in my life to whom I love, right? So spending quality time together, eating is very much a part of that. So I do most of that in the summer. So that's why I'm always very fond of like, you know, going to the things you can't get in the winter, like your food trucks, like your ice cream trucks, like your hole in the wall places, you know, that are a bit more available in the summer for some reason.
And ultimately, like that's like aesthetically, that's really the thing that I love the most about the summertime is how the world opens up.
Yeah.
In the winter, everything's very like shut down. Fuck, I hit the mic again. Everything's very shut down and everyone's just sort of like holed up and like stuck to themselves and very insular and and you know, like that's where you get the kind of cozy vibes. You
There's a lot of appeal.
By the window in a blanket with your loved ones and blah, blah, blah. Yeah.
Fucking whatever.
But I love how everyone is just like, it's easier to travel now. So I am more open and willing to, you know, be open to the world at this point. And that's really what I love about summertime, you know, like the seasonal places that were closed open up and they're festive and they're bright and the sun is shining for longer and everyone's in a slightly better mood than they were in the wintertime when things were dreary and it's just better.
That's fair, man.
You know?
Like, don't get me wrong, you're more than welcome to have that opinion. My whole thing when it comes to summer people is like, and again, times have changed, right? Like seasonal depression is a real thing. So I'm not going to get on these people's cases, but like I know lots of people who are very dramatic about the shift in the season. And I just think that's a waste of energy.
But then again, I think it comes around the other way when summer comes, you know? Like the winter people then go, ugh, summertime.
See, I
shit all over your happiness.
Fully disagree. I think that summer people have been way worse for way longer.
No, I think that winter people have been way worse for way longer.
You're only saying that because I'm saying that. You're a winter person
and I'm a summer person.
Yeah.
So we hear the negativity higher because we're very protective of our season.
I feel like winter people have only been getting louder in the recent years thanks to like Twitter being a place where you can just expunge your fucking opinion no matter how good it is or bad it is. So I feel like there is like winter supremacy rising, you know, like they're going to reach, but I do.
Winter supremacy is on the rise.
But I do feel as though that summer has had a lock on being the quote unquote best season for a long time. And only now are we really seeing opinions on other seasons.
I mean, you said it earlier in the podcast, like it's got like a
nostalgic holdover.
Yeah, so like, you know, when we were kids,
everybody
no one really
summer.
thought about summer because we were free from school. And had like all the time in the world and no pressure to do anything productive. Like when you're a kid, it's not like, and I'm talking like little kid.
Yeah.
Because when you get into high school, they're like, do you have a summer job? And it's like, fuck off, old man.
Just be quiet.
But when you're a kid, it's like, no, you're expected to just have fun. Like that's your only expectation. You're like, I can do that. Excuse me. But when you're older and it's just like hot, but you still have responsibilities that you have to meet. It's like, what's the point of all of this?
Well, I'm just doing what I did in the winter, in the summer.
Yeah.
Which is working.
Yeah. So like you start,
life.
your preferences shift because it's like, well, you know, I come home from an 8-hour shift in the wintertime and at least I can cozy up under the blankets. But I come home from an 8-hour shift in the summertime and my house is hot and I'm not comfortable. And, you know, I can take a cold shower, but as soon as I step out of the cold shower, it's hot and I'm miserable. And then I got to wake up and do it all over again the next day. Ugh, it sucks, which I sympathize with, but I don't care.
Yeah. I mean, also, I want to stress at home, like, regardless of how I feel, you're allowed to like whatever the fuck you like.
Yeah.
Like, you, in my opinion, aren't someone, like, I know someone, a close friend of mine, who gets, like, angry about winter.
Yeah.
Like, no, but I mean, like, not, like, the cute, like, oh, you're angry. Like, you're angry.
Yeah.
And, like, you're being annoying.
You're mad that the seasons happened.
And I'm like, grow up.
Yeah.
I hate to tell you this, but the sun's gonna set too.
Yeah.
Like, what, are you gonna be mad about that? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like that to me is the annoying part. Like, it's like, I don't give a shit that you like summer. I don't give a shit that you like winter. Mm-hmm. But if you're really gonna waste this much energy on being mad about something you literally cannot control unless you're a member of the government, what are you gonna do?
You know? But I also just like not having to brush off my car.
Yeah, that's fair.
To scrape the ice off of it and warm it up for like hours before I fucking have to go anywhere. That's also my biggest thing about summertime is just being able to, like, you can just go. There's no like there's not a lot of inclement weather unless you live in fucking Tornado Alley, which we all do right nowadays.
Yeah, Tornado Alley is slowly becoming all of Canada. So
yeah, but yeah, there's not a lot of inclement weather that can like ruin your. It's mostly just rain.
Yeah,
but even the summertime, there's like rainy day activities that are traditional to summertime that are aesthetically pleasing and fun to do. So.
I do say last thing before we really wrap this up because we really should. Mm-hmm. Can we all agree that the worst weather condition, worse than snow, worse than heat, is rain?
No.
I fucking hate the rain.
I like rain more than I like snow.
But
I would rather rain than snow.
Really? Mm-hmm. I fully disagree. Because I think that snow at least has a pretty aesthetic. And understandable that like driving in the snow can be difficult. But you can also buy or you can have equipped tires for your car that help. And like, so long, in my experience with driving in the snow, so long as you are careful, you'll be fine. For me, like, rain, especially heavy rain like we've been getting recently, like visibility is such a problem. And like, listen, man, we've been inside for a year and a half and waking up for like a week of gray, rainy days has actually affected my mood in ways that it's never done before. So I don't like the rain. Really, I don't.
I think that every single point that you made is applicable to snow. Snow ruins your visibility. Maybe not, like rain hits your windshield and makes it impossible to see. But snow ruins your visibility at a distance. And well, no, you know what? Honestly, like snow hits your windshield too. If it's snowing heavily enough, it's really annoying. It's precipitation. It all hits your windshield. What were you saying? Waking up to a gray, snowy day is the most disappointing thing.
But I don't find snowy days to be gray. It's always white and pretty.
Now we're just in opinion territory. I find rainy days to be aesthetically pleasing.
Right.
I like it when everything is green and the rain is falling and you can hear it on your roof. That's the other thing. You can't hear snow hitting your roof. Rain produces like a nice like sound. It's very relaxing to listen to. I love falling asleep to rain. I even like waking up to rain, to be perfectly honest. I woke up to rain this morning and it was nice.
Right.
I don't mind the gloominess. I find it productive because I'm like, well, you know, everybody's inside. So I feel comfortable doing things and getting shit done no matter what. Yeah, I think it's just opinion. It's just a matter of opinion at that point. You just prefer snow and I prefer rain.
And that's okay.
Yeah.
And we all enjoy the seasons. Even summer. Even if you're one of those insufferable summer people.
Is me. I'm insufferable, people.
You end
That's going to conclude this episode of the Chill Spot Podcast, everybody. Let us know what your favorite summer activities are in the comments below. We would appreciate it. Chill Spot Podcast gets uploaded every Tuesday at 3 p.m. Sometimes, a little earlier?
A little earlier on streaming services, which you can find us on any of the streaming services you find podcasts on.
Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, YouTube, Podbean. We're all available there, and we would love it if you checked us out. Podcasts, I'm going to be Cam here for a second, live or die by word of mouth. So please tell a friend, tell a family member, tell a neighbor, tell a coworker,
Your
tell
dog.
anybody that you, yes, especially tell your dog, about us, and give us a review on any platform that allows for it. 5 stars, thumbs up, tell us how much you love us. We love it so much. We love doing this podcast. We want to do it forever. So please, we appreciate all of your support. My Fringe show with Potato presents, you can do it, put your mask into it, is still live at fringetoronto.com. So if you want to see me do some fun sketch comedy, you can check that out. It's $5 for a Fringe on Demand membership. It's really, really fun. If you want a fun drawing, Cam is also a visual artist and does commissions that are open right now. He can do your D&D character. He can do your OC. He can do you. He can do your mom. He did my mom. It looks gorgeous.
Don't say it like that. Yeah. You can follow me at Cameron Draws on Twitter and Instagram.
Yes. The O is a 0, and be sure to check that out. You can follow the Chill Spot podcast or the Chill Spot show on Instagram and Twitter at Chill Spot Show. And you can also check out our comedy shorts on YouTube.
Which, by the way, if you're watching on YouTube and you're not subscribed, definitely do so.
Please do that.
The very last thing we're going to shell out to you before we end this podcast, you guys, is our Twitch channel. We do live streams 3 days a week, 2 evenings and 1 morning, where we play all sorts of games from Sam's favorite, like the Nancy Drew games, to my favorite, like Mario platformers and shooters and all that. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot like this, except you get to talk to us directly. That's twitch.tv/chillspot.
We're a bunch of very busy individuals, and we would love it so much if you could support us in any way that you can.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Thanks so much for listening, and we'll see you guys next week.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Love you.